Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Market of the Moment. Today is Thursday, May 22nd. Excited to be here this morning. Got a couple things I definitely want to cover today. But I think it's been a great week. Hope it's been a great week for you. Let's get started with um, a rose and a challenge. So, who wants to go first? Uh, a rose is something that you guys like something grateful you're grateful for, and then what one challenge you've had this week.
I can do the challenge, and that's just being consistent with fishing or prospecting. But that's just, I think, more getting a dialed in system that I'm comfortable with doing it day after day to replicate it.
Ooh, love it, love it, love it. Consistency. We'll talk about that today. Good stuff. Who else? Who else has a challenge or rose?
I received my license number last night.
Okay, okay, okay. Congrats. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Love it. That is always great. It's something to hold on to. I mean, it's something to be proud of. Like, continue to celebrate that and really push that. How are you going to market that? Are you going to say anything?
Yeah, I was actually in the process of creating a Facebook post. I had created an online presence for my business about a week or so ago, and I've just been kind of keeping things quiet and silent while I'm working through the rest of the process. But I'm in the process of crafting a post for it this morning.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Good stuff. Congrats again. Tim, what you got?
I had a client who's trying to pull their listing, and the other agent that's involved with me was convinced it was going to happen and that this was going to be an uphill battle. 10-minute phone conversation explaining to them the difference between residential and commercial and the average days on market, and they're excited. They're comfortable. They said we answered all their questions and removed their doubt, and they're looking forward to keeping this listing. So it was not that difficult.
Love it, love it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, good stuff. Sounds like great things are going on in our market centers, and I'm definitely glad to hear that. Anything we can continue to do to support y'all, y'all know we are here. So I'm gonna share my screen. I want to play a short video, a portion of a video. Take some notes. Think about how it applies to you, and then we'll go from there. So let me share my screen and just listen.
Michael Jordan has said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots, lost almost 300 games, and 26 times I've been trusted to make the game-winning shot and missed. I fail over and over and over again, and that is why I succeed.
Jordan is one of the most famous basketball players in the world, though he was not always a star. He didn't make his high school basketball team because he was too short and wasn't good enough. He could have quit, but instead he had the mindset to continue and get better. He was practicing each day before most people
did. And because of this, he not only made the team the following year, but he went on to become the greatest player of all time and a true champion. The question that comes to our mind is, can we all learn to have a mindset of a champion? A mindset is a word describing how we think. There are two types of mindsets. One, a growth mindset, and two, a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is when somebody believes they can learn to be good and they can learn to get better. They are not afraid of challenges. They continue when things get hard. They know that they have put effort in to learn, and they learn from criticism. They are also inspired by people who do well. Michael Jordan has this trait, though another person with a growth mindset.
All right. Give me a couple of ahas. What you guys hear?
He didn't quit the first time he was rejected.
Ooh, I like it. Didn't quit. Who else?
For me, the kid's wise beyond his years, but it's also telling us we're going to fail sometimes, but just keep trying. We'll get there.
That's it. That's it.
You learn more from your failures than your successes, and you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Love it. Y'all killing the day. Love it. Love it. What else? It was a lot in there. I know it was only a minute, but it was a lot. I kind of oh, so sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say growth mindset is something I have always taught throughout some of my previous careers as well. And so it's a place where I try to remain at all times. So I know that whenever I get into like an uncomfortable position or I start to feel like I'm failing, I know that like I need to return back to that growth mindset and remember that it's not failing. I'm learning, and learning is sometimes uncomfortable and very hard. So I think there's something to be said about learning all you can about growth mindset and having it constantly running in the back of your mind at all times.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. So all of these are great things. Growth mindset, right? And it's and growth mindset. I love what he said about how it's essentially where you're inspired to do well by other people. And a fixed mindset is really just it's exactly what it sounds like. It's fixed. It just stays there. And we want to be in a growth mindset. And one of the reasons why is not just because you're an entrepreneur, but honestly, you should have consistent growth, not only in personal life, I mean not only in your business life, but in your personal life. But let's like be honest about the real estate game, right? It all starts with you personally and mentally. This career, like real estate industry, is challenging. It is just downright challenging. Yes, you can overcome the challenges, but it is just daily challenges. And one of the ways that we can overcome it, for it to get better for us, is to truly identify, just like, why are we settling for just where we are? Like wherever you are in your business, what, like, are you just settling for that, or do you really want more? And if you really want more, what actions are you taking daily to make those changes? Because why are we just accepting that this is okay? Why are we just accepting that what I did today was enough? Why are we just accepting that, or why are we constantly saying what we need to do and we're not doing it? But I know we're constantly saying, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I got to do that. I know I got to do this. I know I was supposed to do that, and it's just okay. Why are we consistent with being inconsistent? Like, see, I just don't like when people come and they're like, oh, I struggle with being consistent. No, you don't struggle with being consistent. You are consistent with being inconsistent. So if you just change your mind about your mindset and your priorities, then I can promise you things will change. You don't really struggle with consistency. You are actually really good at it because you're good at being inconsistent. So we just got to flip it. We got to make it work for us. And in real estate, that is huge, because once you really tap in and lock into who you truly are, it's going to make a huge difference in your business. You'll have so much business that you'll have to create a team. You'll have to get more help. So when people feel like, oh, I'm kind of stuck in this industry or just stuck where I am, don't know which way to go, you just got to get your head unstuck, basically, and then your life will follow. When you get your mental right, when you get your mindset right about it, not only will you help yourself, but you'll start to help others. Because most people, when they get into real estate, say, oh, I got into real estate because I want to help others. I want to see others, be able to purchase a home. Well, you can't do that if you're not mentally there, right? And this is where impact comes in it. So think about your clients and what they're going through during their transition from one home to another. They're probably stressed as all get out, right? They're overcoming challenges too. You are a problem solver. You're supposed to give them solutions in order to help them get through that transition. You are supposed to be the expert that they're coming to. So how are you the expert in your business if mentally you're accepting mediocrity? What value are you to your client when they call you and they're just as stressed out as you are and you can't give them anything? Are you just going to tell them, oh, welcome to the party, I'm stressed too? Are you going to be there for them in the way that you need to? Are you going to tell them, oh, I can't help you? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to give them the strength when they're weak, like somebody did for you at some point, or may be still doing for you at some point. But we got to start being more client focused and understanding that, everything that we're talking about is solution based, because it's all a problem, it's all a challenge. So it's solution based versus what purpose can it serve us? Let's think about how can we serve that client better. So once we start being more client focused, and I've been talking about client experience and agent and even agent experience from a leadership level, these are the type of things we got to be heavily focused on, because sometimes you're supposed to give and not receive anything back, because it's not even that person that may be supposed to give you that blessing or return that blessing or reciprocate it. It may be somebody else. So sometimes it's okay for you to go and show a house for another agent and not even and not expect anything, because at some point you may get another referral from them, or you may get a referral from somebody else. It's stepping in the gap. It's stepping in the gap sometimes. So how do we get to these places? It's a couple things. I talked about checking your mindset, but visualize success. Success is subjective, because success to you is not success to me, right? Our success mindset is different. So you have to regularly envision your goals or your commitments and the steps that you need to achieve them. How do you do that? Couple different ways. You can create a vision board. Most people have one, right? Use a vision board. Use images, affirmations. Go whatever you need to put on there. Create a vision board. Have a morning visualization routine where you spend maybe 5 to 10 minutes daily in the morning, obviously, imagining yourself doing the very things that you want to see done. If it's closing deals, you're closing deals. If it's delivering keys, you're delivering keys. If it's celebrating wins, it's celebrating wins. But spend 5 to 10 minutes just thinking about those, just visualizing what that looks like. Because that image will become reality when you complete the task. How about setting specific goals with deadlines? MREA talks about SMART goals, right? So use SMART goals, but then revisit them weekly. I think I told y'all before, like I write everything down, and then I like to cross things out. Like that's just my way of, when I'm done with it, I want to cross it off. I'll put a time by it and I'll cross it off, or a date by it and I'll cross it off. Like that's how I feel satisfied or know that the job is done. But when at the end of the week, I can also see where I need help at, where I missed the mark. So it's an accountability thing as well. Visualize success. You gotta think about what that looks like. Establish routines. Use the daily 411, right? Focus on weekly and monthly priorities that align with your 1-year goal. So the 411 basically says, hey, and you got these 4 quarters, a year, that you can separate it by month, but think about on a daily basis, what are you doing? And actually write those things down. You can, a easy way, after every hour, on the hour, write down what you did for the previous hour. Easy. And then when you get done for the workday, you'll be able to see, hey, what was actually productive? What helped me achieve, what helped me get closer to the finish line? I start my day with a power hour, or maybe 30 minutes, but begin each morning with just whatever it is. If it's that routine, if it's lead generation, if it's script practice, if it's personal growth, development growth, whatever, start with a power hour or a power 30 minutes. So even after your 5 to 10 minutes where you're visualizing success, or it can be a part of it, but start with something. The point is to start a routine and establish a routine, and something that you're going to stay consistent with. Now, will you get off track? Yes, absolutely. You're human. But the point about real estate is the fact that you got to get back to where you're supposed to be. You can get out for a second, but you got to come back because literally your business depends on it. And when we prioritize clients first, we'll put their needs over ours. Those things, it'll naturally start to happen. We talked a couple weeks ago about how do we interact with our clients on a daily basis or a weekly basis, sending weekly client check-ins, whether they're active or pending, right? Maybe creating a client intake questionnaire or onboarding questionnaire, understanding their full story, tailoring your service to their needs, making sure that's part of your buyer consultation. What questions am I asking? Am I going deep enough? Because the more questions I ask, the better it'll be for me to be able to identify a property that's specific and works for them. So those type of things, celebrating milestones, we talked about that too. Not just celebrating milestones with the clients, but celebrating milestones with you too, right? When you go under contract, that's a huge deal. Did y'all know that in South Carolina, and I'm pretty sure in North Carolina too, but in South Carolina, buyer agency compensation is earned when you go under contract, when you have a ratified contract. The compensation for a buyer's agent is earned at ratification, not at closing, at ratification, which means that you earned your full commission as soon as you went under contract. You got a buyer and seller signed. Now, the way our buyer agency reads in South Carolina is delayed as a courtesy to the seller or courtesy to the whoever's paying. Is delayed until closing. The payment is delayed until closing, but it's earned. That's a huge win. Why not celebrate that? Huge win. And you should pat yourself on the back because the more that you can get there and continue to feed your pipeline, the more you can expect in the future, right? You can begin to plan those things. The biggest thing about entrepreneurship is freedom. You want free. Your whole goal is to get enough income to provide you freedom. So why not celebrate when you get to those points? Celebrate those milestones. Continuous learning. Another thing, you guys are here in the mornings, right? Great. Thank you for being here. Continuous learning. You're checking that off the box. But what else are you doing? Are you going to trainings? Are you going to team meetings? Are you attending, things outside of the industry for personal development? Are you reading one industry book a month or a quarter? Are you joining a mastermind group that inside KW or without or outside? How are you studying the market stats? Yes, we're bringing the market stats to you weekly, but are you studying a specific subdivision? Are you keeping up with it? And not only are you keeping up with it, how are you communicating that to the public or to your target audience? Because things that you do, you should also be exposing to other people and letting them know what you're doing. People want to know, like, and trust you, right? But people assess trust based off of knowledge most of the time, especially when all you do is do social media or something public facing. That's all that they know. So if they don't see you posting or they don't see you, posting a video of you doing something or being in the training room, educating yourself, now how do they know that you know what you know? So we got to be okay with exposing ourselves because we can help them make a decision before they get to you and say, yes, you know what? That's the person I want to work with. They're always educated. They're always in the training room. They're always sharing great information. They're always telling me something that I did not know. They're always providing value when they don't have to. That's the person I want to be around. So here's my challenge for you for the weekend and going to next week. Identify one area where your mindset needs a shift. Just one area where your mindset needs to shift. It doesn't even have to be in real estate. It could be personal. But one area where your mindset needs to shift, where you have a limiting belief and you know that you need to change it. Identify that. And next week, we're going to talk about how to develop that. But identify that. Second thing, identify one system that you can implement or you need to go clean up. Because sometimes we already got some systems in place. It's just not where it needs to be or enhanced. So identify one area of your mindset you need to shift, and then identify one system that you can either implement, you can start, or one that you need to clean up. And then lastly, identify one client that you can serve intentionally, more intentionally. Find a client, a previous client, or maybe one you're working with. And if you don't have a client yet, the goal is to find a client. Get a client by next week. And don't do it for a check, do it for impact. Figure out what they need, what problem you can solve, and help them do that. And remember, you're not just building a business, you're building a legacy. That makes a difference. So think about those things today. I do want to share, I'm going to share our numbers really quick. Am I signed? Maybe it won't. Let me see if it will. Oh no, I think I don't remember this. Hold on. Let me do this again. While I'm pulling that up, any ahas or anything that you heard or anything that you think you can implement next week or this week? Anybody? Nobody? What is my thing?
I know I've made it my goal for the rest of the year to stay on track to read at least one book a month, to kind of help my knowledge base. But coming into this brand new, it's very easy because I just go to the Keller Williams library and pick any book off the shelf at this point. But right now, Jan has us reading the Profit Plan, I think is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about entrepreneurship and like how to build your business and how to run it so that you actually do get a profit. It's a really great book for anybody who feels that like their business isn't quite profiting the way that they want it to. So yeah, that's kind of my goal and my takeaway is, and kind of really further verifies that I should be reading more.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I am going to, all right. So let's get into our numbers. So Charleston, we'll start with as of Monday, so a few days ago. But if you can see so we had a kind of a high, I guess, new listing. So new listing, let me go down a little bit. New listings is in column C. It looks like last week we had, a lot of new listings come up. Think about Tuesday, 111, Wednesday, 116, Thursday, 184, 152 on Friday. What does that kind of tell you? If you look at, so from the 12th to Monday, what I got highlighted here, you see kind of a spike from Tuesday to Friday. And then you see like a huge drop like Saturday, Sunday, Monday. What do you get from that? Anybody? And this could be from the North Carolina side too. Numbers are numbers. What do you think that means? There's no right and wrong answer. Just what do you get from it? One, I'll say it's clear that people like and if you look actually look up, most people list on Thursdays. New listings mainly come up in Charleston on Thursday or Friday. If you look at the whole month, Thursday and Friday is usually $199, $199. That was May 1st and 2nd. If you look at that next week, Thursday and Friday were the highest. Thursday was 161 and Friday was 100. And then you see Saturday is only 42. You see Sunday was like only 19. It's a huge drop in percentage. So how can you use that in your business if you have a listing?
Hit people up on to make it. I make mine active on Thursday or Friday for the weekend usually.
Right. So these are numbers, but this data shows you like, hey, here's what I need to be doing in my business, right? How can I be in alignment? If the market, and so here's some other things. If the market is consistent, James said this earlier about being consistent, right? If the market is consistent, then why are you not consistent?
But you can look at this another way and try to be active on a different day since there's not as much competition that day coming on the market too.
There we go, right? So flip it. Yes, flip it. That's the whole point. You don't have to be in alignment. You can totally flip it. And what does that do for your business?
Put your head.
There you go. Tim, what you got?
I was on the same page. I was going to say I've always heard you're supposed to put your listing up on Thursday for some reason, and looking at the numbers, maybe put yours up on Tuesday and just see if it means that you get showings that other people are missing.
There we go.
Most people want to have it go active for the weekend because they have more showings on weekends because people are more available. But maybe doing it a different day of the week will give you that first step before someone else.
Yes.
Less competition during the week.
Yes.
I will slightly add, please, at least the agents in our area, I assume it's everywhere. I believe it's nationwide. Please make sure that your listing is on showing time so I can book it without a bunch of phone calls and text messages. Just make life easy for everyone. Come on now.
Yes. I would agree.
I had that problem this morning.
I would agree. And here's Charlotte. So Charlotte's numbers are a little different because the Sundays or Monday basically encompasses Saturday, Sunday, the weekends. They can't really do the weekends, so that's why it's like 700 or something like that. But really, kind of the same thing. And then Charlotte, what I've been noticing here is the price reductions are insane.
It's horrible here. Houses are sitting longer and the reductions are hitting hard.
Yes. You got 44,237 new listings in the market just this month, and 4,000 over the amount of new listings, 4,730 have price reductions.
Which column is that?
It's S. Sorry, let me bring this down.
S.
Yeah.
Oh, there's okay.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So new listings is in P. So y'all got 4237, and then your price reductions are over that 4730, which is crazy. Which means that essentially, it's all the houses that was on the market last month or whatever. A lot of price reductions.
Our sellers want a lot for their house, and they may not get.
Very much so. And then again, remember back on expired and withdrawns. These are all opportunity columns for you. So that means they expired. That's an opportunity for you. They withdrawn. There's a reason. And why do you want to call expires or withdrawn?
Because it didn't work with the original agent. Tell them what you can do different.
There we go. You already know that they want to sell. That's usually the biggest point, right? It's how to get them to sell. What's their motivation? You already know that. So now, how do you position yourself to provide value and change their trajectory? That's it. That's what you guys got to figure out. So I love it. Any other questions about the numbers or anything?
Yeah, screenshot that.
Oh, yes. Do you want me to move over to the Charlotte one?
Oh, I did the wrong one. Yes, please.
Okay. Actually, yes. It starts in P, so.
Okay. Let me do that now. Thank you.
You are welcome. You're welcome.
All right, there are 10 agents here. I'm going to throw out a marketing strategy that I've shared with some others, mostly new agents. Maybe use it, maybe don't, maybe works for you, maybe doesn't. When you're calling these expired and you're calling these for sale by owners, a lot of, especially the for sale by owners, but a lot of them, they don't want to go under contract with an agent. Even the expired listings, maybe they don't want to go under contract with a new agent because the old agent didn't do what they said, blah, blah. Call them and ask them if they had anyone who came in who they were convinced was going to put an offer in and then didn't, or if they had people that they felt like they were going to put an offer in and they never did, and they have that contact information. Give them the option of a short-term agency agreement, because the laws change. You have to have an agency agreement. Can't do anything without it. And then tell them that you, as the seller's agent, will write the offer for those potential buyers who never presented an offer. You're going to write the offer. You're going to let your client read it, of course, and then you're going to send that to those potential buyers so that you're taking the next step, so that the sellers aren't on the back foot, poised and waiting. The negotiations have already now begun. You're opening the negotiation. Excuse me, it's the coffee. You're opening the negotiations for them, and that gives them something that is different, different approach, a different marketing approach, and it's proactive, and it's something you're offering them short term. They don't need to sign for 60 days, 90 days. They don't need to sign a listing agreement. They need to sign an agency agreement and just give you 14 days or 30 days. So that, and also for new agents, it's good practice because now you're writing a contract where if you don't have any clients, you don't have any buyers, you may not have that experience. So if nothing else, it's generating work. It's something that you're actively doing, which always seems to generate work down the pipeline. And it's practicing those contracts and taking a different marketing approach.
Yeah, because you can go out there and make an offer for a buyer that didn't make an offer, but yet you get the ball rolling.
Exactly. And you're doing it from the seller side. So even if they have an agent, you're still not stepping on anybody's toes.
Yep. Good idea.
I love it. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Very. All right, y'all. Well, I definitely appreciate y'all being here today. I know we ran over a little bit, but this is all good stuff. I hope you guys are finding value or getting value from these calls. Please continue to join, share, and spread the word that this is going on. We want to make sure that you guys are getting value, and I hope that you continue to monitor and track and measure your business and your business growth, because that's what matters. What gets measured gets managed. So make sure you are measuring your tasks so they get managed correctly. This will conclude our market of the moment. We do have team meeting in West Ashley today at 12 for Charleston. So make sure you guys attend. Hopefully I'll see you there. Otherwise, I'll see you next Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend. Have a blessed day, everybody.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.